What's up, everybody? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all are having a good weekend. Yeah, I guess let's just hop right into it. We'll quickly just review Spy from Friday. Pretty much did exactly what we thought, other than I didn't anticipate this much of a gap down. Um, but I was saying, whatever it was, Thursday afternoon, evening, to not be looking for calls. Um, Pretty clear that we were going to gap down. We were targeting, or I don't know if I said this, but I found the November 6. Um, I thought this was a POC. Oh, okay, sorry. November 6 VPOC, November 6 value area low. These were kind of what I was watching. Um, it looks like they wanted to clean up more POCs than just those ones. Let's take a look really quick. I haven't really looked at this since Thursday. So we have a POC down here, and we also have a POC. I mean, a VPOC. So we have two VPOCs to the downside, and as of right now, I guess two to the upside. This one here, this one here. Oh wait, no, there's yeah, two. Um, I think Monday probably going to be typical day, trade sideways. Will probably be. Excuse me, sorry. It's looking more bullish from what I've seen so far, but I need to zoom out on Spy and really get a good look at everything. Um, but I'm thinking it's looking bullish for Monday as of right now. But again, when we chart Spy, we'll zoom out, we'll take a look at it, um, and see what we actually see based on levels on the chart. I will say, like, I always like to chart first and then look at what news is coming up for the next day, because I don't like to chart with a bias. So, like I don't want to look at news and be like, oh, like that's probably going to, send the market up or down or whatever. And then when I'm charting, in the back of my head, I've got that news bias that like might, have me look at things one certain way versus just looking at a blank, clean slate, and seeing what the market is actually like indicating it's looking to do. What's up, Sleazy? How you doing? What's up, Mist? What's up, Lisa? How are you? Yeah, you're good. Appreciate the message. Thank you. What's up, Professor X? What's up, Bunmi? What's up, Katsu? Um, to your message, Katsu, I don't know, man. I'm feeling off today. Like nothing crazy, but I actually had like a one-on-one plan for Saturday morning, and this is like wild for me because I'm never off on the weekends to the point that I forget that my son has a really important jujitsu class that like we just can't miss. It's kind of like um, I'll put it this way: like the person that runs the class is an ex UFC fighter, and his whole thing is if you're not showing up consistently, don't show up at all, because the people that are showing up consistently are going to be on track with what he's teaching, and if you miss like too much, you're going to fall behind, and then he's going to have to slow down the whole class to bring you up to speed. And so there's like two classes, jujitsu classes a week that my son really can't miss, and that's one of them. This light is bothering me. Oh well, whatever. If I put my hand up, yeah, my lighting gets better. It's all this natural light here on the side. Um, so anyway, I completely forgot about that, and I scheduled, a one-on-one session a group session at this like roughly the same time as his class, and then I had to cancel it, which is super rare for me. So anybody that's like happens to be watching, if you were a part of that, I really apologize. I don't cancel stuff very often. Like I'm pretty much, as I'm sure you guys know, like I'm a man of my word, and my word is very important to me. And something like that, like it was just I'm not used to being off on the weekends, and since I was off on the weekend, it's a lot easier for me to take my son to the jujitsu class versus my wife trying to get the baby all ready and cart her along. So I took him. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, all right, like I'll just reschedule this one-on-one session for later in the day on Saturday. And then just all day, like I just kind of wasn't feeling it. And I think my body was telling me like, you need to slow down and rest and reset. And then I was thinking, like I'll just get it done today on Sunday. I should say Saturday had a really nice day with the family, hanging out and chilling, and we had a good time. It actually ended up being pretty wild. Like my son, some people will know this, but he's really heavy into MMA, and he's also really heavy into like playing guitar, piano, keyboards, and singing. And we took his guitars to a little local music store where the owner of the store, will like set up guitars and fix all of the, I don't know, like I'm not a guitarist, but they have a metal rod in the neck of guitars, and they have to adjust those based on the weather, because different humidities will cause the necks to bend, and then your sound will be off, or like strings will rub against the frets or things like that. And so we just took him into him to get it all set up, and the guy just happened to mention like, hey, like if you're interested, um, like Saturday, I guess once a month they do like an open mic night. And so he was like, yeah, we have an open mic, and bring your son by or whatever. And we're like, oh hell yeah. And so we went back 6 o'clock last night, and my son did like 3 songs. He sang and played guitar for 2 songs, and then he just played guitar for Slipknot because he can't sing Slipknot. But people were jiving. It was cool. A lot of people were like pumping him up and telling him, keep going, don't give up. Like that he's already doing amazing, and he'll just get better and better with time. The only bummer was like it was short notice, so we were trying to get some kids that are in the same band as my son to show up. But none of them were available, I guess. Nobody showed up. But so it was cool. And then this morning, I don't know, I normally wake up, 5:30, 6:30 in the morning. Today I couldn't drag my ass out of bed. I think I was in bed till like 10:30. And finally got up and still just wasn't feeling it, but I had a lot of work I needed to do, like based on whatever, charting for myself for Monday, looking over trades for you guys, basically just getting ready for doing this YouTube video, stuff like that, that I really wasn't feeling motivated about. But yeah, I feel like I had to like kind of force myself to get behind the computer and start looking at charts and stuff. And so here we are. With all of that said, I think I found some really, really killer setups for you guys. So that's good news. But I think I got the rest that I needed. Like I'll probably be feeling a lot better tomorrow, I'm sure. Oh, nice, Timothy. What's up? Yeah, we're all doing good. We're doing good. We're just kind of having a rest day today, I guess. So let's hop into it. Let's look at, or really quick, SPY probably was not easy to trade. I want to delete these levels before I forget. Um, I might redraw those monthly levels, but I'm just going to look at everything. The fact that we're like kind of close to the monthly second sig top there. Hey, what's up, Yaneth? Or Yannick, sorry. Might make it worth having on our chart. All right. Let's look at options for Monday. This is one I don't do very often, but Apple looks good. It looks ready to go. I'll just say this, like I don't I know Apple's probably going way higher than this. Like basically I'll just share it with you guys and then you guys can choose your own poison basically. But right now, especially like if you go, well, no. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. Um, Apple's probably coming like somewhere around here. I would guess like 230-ish, give or take, whatever. I'm going to make this a white line because um, when I call out trades, I mostly want you guys like to get in at a good entry where there's room for continuation and then get out into strength, whatever that is. So if you're in calls, you want to sell into strength. Don't want to be trying to sell the top where you might have like massive fluctuations in the bid ask spread, or as soon as for options, as soon as something starts selling off and you're in calls, the option price will start decaying pretty quickly. And then the inverse for puts, like we want to sell into strength. We don't want to be holding into when things start to chop sideways, like right at the ultimate price target kind of thing. It just makes it easier to close your positions. But so with that said, this area here would concern me as far as price being choppy. Once you clear this, actually I should just label this. Okay. So I want to get out before we get into this choppy area. But once this happens, basically, you're probably going to do, something like this. And then get a pretty big move. Actually, it might even chop a little bit in this area here. And then should pop up to about 230. So for me, for a day trade on Apple, and I'm just trying to, I want you guys in and out, but if you want to take, whatever, a swing trade and try to catch the whole move up to 230, like that's your prerogative. It should work out. I would rather just get out, into strength, take my money, run, and look for the next setup. But so on Apple, over 225 and 43 cents, looking for calls, and we're just going to straight up close 226 and 70 cents. Again, if you want to hold longer and try to shoot for that 230, go for it. Should work out. Okay. I'm reading what Lisa said here. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm one of those, so like a lot of people might not know this about me, but I'm from an island. I'm from Bermuda. And I think with that, like I have that island mentality of like it takes a village. And to me, that's like everything. And that's kind of what I stand on, and that's what I stand for. Like I'm one of those people, like my wife's actually gotten upset with me about this before, and then when I explained my reasoning, she was like, oh, okay, get it. But also, we have very different cultures. My wife being Chinese, our cultures are very different. But like, I'm the kind of person where if I see like an injustice, I'm going to speak up. And I don't care what that is. Like, I'm one of those dudes, like, if some guy was like bugging you on the street and you walked up and pretended that I was your boyfriend or husband or whatever, I would be on board so fast. And if needed, I would smash that fool without even batting an eye. Um, and so, I mean, it just goes back to a lot of things. Like, um, I'm now a citizen of the United States of America, and I love the United States. I'm also a veteran. Um, I fought for the freedoms that we have in this country. And when I say that, like, I have so much respect for all of our vets that basically allow us the freedoms that we enjoy in this country. And so it's like all of that for me. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a woman or a child or whatever that needs help or something or needs guidance. Like, I'm kind of not going to hesitate to speak up. Um, and like I said, my wife's seen me do it before, and she was kind of like, I don't think that was your place to say something. And I'm like, I looked around, nobody else was saying something, so I did. And that's just who I am. And then when I explained it to her, she understood and she supported me. Um, but so with that said, like, the way that I try to raise my son is I look at him and I say, is this somebody that I would be proud to have date my daughter? Or that I would be, like, would I accept this person dating my daughter? And that's the kind of man that I'm trying to raise. And then with my daughter, like, I just want her to have good, strong values and to appreciate herself and appreciate her body, and never settle, basically. But me, it's not going to take long for it to get to 2:30. Couple days, maybe day. You might be able to just take, if this plays out tomorrow, and you basically swing this overnight, I wouldn't be surprised to see it hit the next day. If I was trading it though, I would probably grab contracts like 5 days to a week out, something like that. Um, Katsu, the reason that I say choppy is just you just look at price action, right? Um, so we're on 30-minute candles. If you see from when price, let me hide. When price came here, right, we started chopping. And then from here down, it's just one candle, boom, gone. Kind of the same thing here. Like, these are pretty quick candles up. Another quick candle up. We did have some choppiness here, but more so, again, when we get to this area here, we're just chopping, 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 chopping for 2 days, right? Gapped down through this area that we're looking to trade in, chopping below, another quick candle up, right? Um, Fairly quick down, another pretty quick candle back up to this area, and again, more chop and more chop down here. So from basically, well, as soon as I draw this, all of my drawings are going to come back on the screen, but basically from right about here to about here, price moves really quickly. Below this, things are pretty choppy, and above this, things are pretty choppy. But then the same thing when we get up here, things are moving fairly quick again, right? So I'm just looking at price action to the left. That's always what you want to do in trading, is you always want to look left, right? So that's what we're doing. And just in case I didn't enforce this enough, I really appreciate the message, Lisa. That's very kind and very sweet. Um, I'm just trying to be a good person and a good father and, a good husband. That's everything to me. I should tell you guys too, because I talk about, like hugging your loved ones and telling them that they're appreciated or whatever. The other night, I mean, like, I feel like I tell my wife this a lot, but um, maybe it was the delivery was different. But the other night, I approached my wife in the kitchen and I just told her, hey, like, I really want you to know, um, that I really appreciate you, and that like I couldn't have chose a better mother for my children. And she was kind of like, what? And like kind of taken aback. And I'm like, no, I really mean it. Like I couldn't have chose a better mother if I tried to, for my children. And she got teary eyed and gave me a big hug and a kiss. And um, so I practice what I preach. Um, Make sure your loved ones know that they're appreciated, especially your wife or husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, because those are the people that are either going to lift you up or um, put you down. And like you want to make sure that the person that you have um, in your corner is picking you up and supporting you and pushing you to be the best that you can be. Anyway, I'm going to get off my little soapbox. Next trade that we're looking for is also going to be a day trade. CRM, it's going to pop. And kind of, you could play this the same way as well. I'm just looking for that quick in and out. And so over 325 and 80 cents, you can grab calls. First trim at 327, and then we're going to close at 330 and 50 cents. Should be good. Actually, I'm going to change this. I apologize. It might be worth just closing it at 330. I mean, 330 on the button, but we'll say 330.25. But that 330 is probably going to be a psych level that's better to close at. And I don't know why I drew my line basically in the middle of this little gap here. I'm sure if we tap 330 and 25, we're going to get some kind of a reaction there. It might do, this and then go higher, but we're going to get a reaction when we first tap it. CRM is actually like looking crazy. It's probably coming up here somewhere. 350 is probably a good target. But same thing. When price gets here, we're going to start chopping. And then when price gets here, we're going to chop pretty hard. So if you want to target this, that's your prerogative. I would grab calls at least a month out, 2 months out, something like that. A month should be enough. They'll probably do this in like a couple of weeks or a week at the most, but you want to make sure you have time. A B profile where there's a few. This is, if you're talking like day to day, this is a lowercase b. This is a lowercase b. Here we have a P, right? This is an uppercase B. And this is an uppercase B. So I think what you're suggesting when you're asking me if that's a lowercase b, it is. It's also a massive bear flag, right? And that's okay. So like if we zoom out 1 hour maybe. Yeah. So this here, let's just draw this whole thing. This was our first bear flag. Or bear pennant. Right? So this is our flag. This is the pole. There to there, or even there to there. I don't know. Pick your poison. We'll just go with the lower one. And then if we draw our fibs, this is your first price target off of that bear flag. And that's pretty much exactly where price went, right? Um, so hopefully this is making sense, but you draw your fibs from the flagpole top to bottom, and then that'll give you your price targets. Your first target is going to be the 272 level, second target 618, third target 786. If you're trading a flag, you probably want minimum you're trimming at your 272 or just closing your position. These levels start to get a little bit harder to hit. So with that said, that was our first flag, right? And then I think this is what you're referring to is we have another flag right here. And this would be our flagpole. And your first price target is going to be 322, 32 cents, which lines up perfect with this shelf that we have here. And so this just brings me to something somebody said to me the other day. I'm not going to call out the person because it's not like I'm not saying this from like a disrespectful position or whatever, but somebody mentioned, I don't remember what day it was, but somebody mentioned, I think it might have been Friday even, that somebody was live trading and they pointed out that there was a bear flag, or no, they pointed out there was a bull flag, and so they were all in calls. And actually it wasn't Friday, it was a few days before, and I had drawn out for you guys like, nope, like, you know, get puts here, play it down to here, blah 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 blah. Everything that I had pointed out played out, and then this other person that's trading live is pointing out the bull flag. Obviously, like, bull flags, bear flags, they work sometimes. Otherwise, nobody would pay attention to them, but they also don't work out a lot of times as well. And I guess the thing is you have to be aware. Market makers are aware that retail likes to play bull flags and bear flags, and they'll specifically, target people. They'll break the low here. Retail piles in, and then they'll pull out their Uno reverse card, and they'll make their move that they were actually wanting to make. They'll grab the liquidity and go. So with that said, sure, play bull flags and bear flags. The only thing is don't do what retail does, which is either they get in when the tap of the bottom or the top of the flag is touched. So like on a bear flag, the last tap, as soon as that level gets broken, is when a lot of retail will start buying. Some will target like the flag post itself for the area that they get in. So as soon as the price breaks below the flag post, in the instance of a bear flag, they would get in. That's right, Miss Free. And then, for a bull flag, it would be the inverse. As soon as they tap the top of the flagpole, some people will hop in calls, or some people wait for that last touch of the top of the flag to get in when it's broken. The way that Shorty taught me is if you're getting in, get in here. So at least, if they sell off to here, break through, and then pull the Uno reverse, you're still in profit, right? Whereas if you get in at the bottom and they reverse it, sucks to be you. So Shorty always taught me play flags if you're going to play them. On bear flags, get in at the top, and on bull flags, get in at the bottom. And at least that way you have the profit for the whole flag if they do break it and then come back inside. Okay. Um, so yes, whoever asked, we do have a massive bear flag. When I look at these levels, like it's not. Basically, there's a lot of. Hey, what's up, Scary? What's up, Rocket Catcher? That's pretty funny. When I look at these levels, there's a lot of things I'm looking at, and it's more than just whatever patterns, blah 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 blah. It's definitely more than volume profile. I've talked about it a little bit, but I look at Elliott waves, specifically on what's the. I don't know why I can't think of the name of the candlesticks. The Henkin-Ashi candles. And there might be people listening right now that are like, oh, like Elliott waves, they suck because like everybody's going to choose different points on the chart. And I would agree with you. It could be very difficult to choose the correct points on the chart for, first wave, second wave, third wave, so on and so forth. But fortunately, I have a very good private indicator that draws the Elliott waves for me. And so I use that. And then I go based on Shorty's clouds, which are also very private, and look for major support and resistance levels. And so if my Elliott waves are saying price is going up and there's no clouds in the way between where price is and where my price target is, I'm taking the play. Even better is if the cloud, like let's just say a cloud is sitting right here, which all of these trades that we're covering today is the case. So the cloud being there shows that it would be support. And then there's no clouds, in this range here, which just basically means price can move freely and quickly through these levels. Then once all of those things are confirmed, then I'll look at the charts and make sure that what I'm seeing on the charts aligns with what I found on my Elliott waves and also, the clouds. And then I share the trades with you guys. So a lot of confluence goes into these plays. I could be wrong, but I think this bear flag is just going to get nulled based on what I'm seeing, but we'll see. What's up, Nora? How you doing? This next trade is going to be freaking massive. If this works out, this is the one that's like going to be massive, massive money. This is a good one. So, SPX, these contracts are generally very expensive. You're probably only going to want to get 0 days till expiration contracts because anything further out is going to be like super pricey. And even with that said, you're probably going to be looking at like at least $250 to $500 for a contract. I would target like 5900s or I don't know, 5885. I don't know if that's a contract that they sell, but something like that. You want to get it close to where you anticipate price going. We definitely want to close this into strength. There's kind of the same thing that I was talking about. This range here, they can chop sideways a little bit. That's why we're looking to close basically right as we go into it. But once they clear that, we're coming up to here somewhere. So you could even play this up a little bit higher if you wanted to. But so this is like, it'll be massive money. Um, I would anticipate if you buy the contracts for 500, when you get to the closing level, they'll probably be like 15 to 2,000. Um, I mean, I'm guessing, but that's what I would anticipate. Um, so over 58.76 and 40 cents grab calls. First trim will be 5887 and 55 cents. That's still going to be like good money. Um, 10 points on SPX is like no joke. It's a lot of money. Um, and then finally close at 5,900. Jason G, I don't know like exact numbers for you. Um, Anybody would be welcome. I wouldn't. I can share this with you guys. Um, but this is every single trade that I've called out since May 6th. And I'm not really sure the win rate, but it's not bad. Um, Even if that's 50%, which I don't think it is, it's probably like 65 to 70% win rate, I would guess. Um, as long as you're using one risk to reward, like you're way up, you're way positive. But I haven't done the math. If anybody's good with Excel and wants to create a spreadsheet that automatically calculates, like um, based on the win loss ratio, automatically calculates like what the percentage is, I would be more than happy to use it. I'm not good with Excel, so I just have this crap here that I wrote. Um, or whatever. I didn't write it, I just fill it out. It's nothing special. Um, okay. Oh, this is. I do like to color code the words as well if I type something in here, just because um, I don't know, it stands out more. Yeah, no worries. Um, so those are the trades I'm looking at for Monday. Um, SPX, don't sleep on it. If this plays out, it's going to be massive, and it looks the setup looks really really good. Um, what else was I going to say? Oh, futures are open. Yep, and of course we're already moving up. Um, on SPX, like if they open over this level, hopefully they don't. Um, you could get in at the first trim kind of thing. Hopefully they open below and give it to us, or they open above and come back down and then go. But right now futures are already looking bullish, which is really what I was anticipating for tomorrow. I mean, you notice every single trade that I've called out has all been calls. Um, Lisa, I can't answer that for you. This is futures right now, Nora. Yes. SPX, well, I don't know if you're talking about SPX, not seeing it on Robinhood. Um, I don't really know what to say other than Robinhood sucks. But it is tradable on probably most brokers. It's not considered a future. No, it's they have options. So here I can show you guys. Let me see. Bear with me for a second. Like there's a couple of things that I hate more than Robinhood, and those are like moving averages, RSI, MACD. Um, but yeah, I'm not a fan. So if I pull this up over here, What just happened? Oh my gosh. It just like snapped my other monitor. That's weird. There we go. And we go to SPX. And then go into trade. You'll see these are options. Oh, like I said, they're pricey. um, like if you're looking, see, here's the 5,900 calls. They're 540, 600. Don't let these spreads scare you out of it. Like it's worth trading. You can see like this is a good example. Here it's 540 to 60 at the 5,900s. But you can see like when you're in the money, 1840 to 1910-ish. So it's going to be massive, like if this hits. Okay. I guess technically you could even go to the 5905s if you're trying to get it cheaper. Or even 5910s. You'll still make good money, you know. Just not as much as if you go with the 5900s or 5995s. Okay. What's up, Oliver? How you doing, brother? Let's try up SPY really quick. Oh. All right. Good luck, bro. Good luck. If she's anything like mine, you're going to be waiting a while, but it'll be worth it. I mean, to me, my wife, and I'm not just, this isn't BS. I'm not saying this just because my wife is beautiful regardless. Like I definitely, and this isn't me talking crap about myself. I know that I'm a very good person. And I know, you know, my heart and my commitment to family and kids and whatever else are very attractive things to women. But my wife, I way outdid myself. She's freaking gorgeous. And to me, like, I don't care. First thing in the morning when she wakes up, she's absolutely gorgeous. And she goes and spends whatever it is, an hour in the bathroom getting ready, doing makeup and stuff. And she comes out still gorgeous. It doesn't really make much of a difference to me. But yeah, she's worth waiting for. So I'm sure it's the same for you. How do I show risk to reward on an actual chart? Let's go look at SPX. So for any trade that you take, you should be drawing. Let's go down to 5 minutes actually. You should be drawing a long position tool if you're grabbing calls, and you should be grabbing a short position tool if you're doing shorts. So like if I was grabbing puts, I would do this. And if I was grabbing calls, I would do long, right? So regardless of what my price target is, so if I'm trimming, then my take profit has to start here. So I'll try to explain what I'm saying, but if my plan is to take 2 contracts and close one at the first trim level, leave the last one as a break-even runner or, you know, profit target here, I have to base my initial risk and reward off of my first price target. If my plan is to just close the position here, then I don't have to worry about basing risk to reward based on the first price target. Hopefully that makes sense. But just for, it's this right here, long position, it's going to be here on, so the fourth thing down on trading view, and then you'll see long and short right there. I'm going to draw this based on the first trim just so I'm not confusing a bunch of people. But the way that I always do this is if I'm taking a trade and this is my price target, I look left and try to figure out where I want my stop loss to be. And like my eyes kind of immediately go right here. And I'll explain why. We'll just say this. So if we look here, like I have a wick. Actually, I'm going to erase this just so that it's not obscuring the view. But this wick here on this candle basically came right to the top of that box. And then I have another wick here, another wick here. And then the bottom of the box was really like this red candle here. And then I also have wicks coming up to the bottom of the box here, 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 I think, and over here. So now if we put this back on, it should make more sense, right? So I'm thinking, this is like a pretty good support and resistance zone. So if I can put my stop loss, like either at this level or slightly below it, then this would be like a good trade to take. If I'm not able to do that and still get one risk, two reward, then I probably shouldn't take the trade. And I might be targeting too low as far as SPX is concerned. But I can also look here and see like if I'm looking for a stop loss, kind of the same thing right here. So if I could put my stop loss, slightly below that box, then it's a trade that I can take. And again, I'm just kind of looking at the wicks, seeing where there's stopping volume. And then from there, I just drag my tool, and here I can't do it. I'm getting 1.25 to 1. If I move it up to here, still can't do it, 1.49 to 1. And so for me to take this trade, my stop loss has to be right about there, which isn't bad based on what I'm seeing. It's not ideal. Actually, no, this is perfect. Sorry, I take it back. As long as I'm going to erase this white line just so it's not in the way. So basically, if market makers were really trying to stop me out, they're probably going to come to here, or they might go a little bit below and then bounce, right? So if they're trying to grab liquidity, they're probably going to do exactly what this wick did and then bounce. And so as long as my stop loss can be either slightly below that, a little bit lower, and I'm getting 2 reward for my 1 risk, I can take the trade. I don't cover this very often because I don't like to show like actual trades on my channel, in the sense that I don't want the SEC to come at me and be like, hey, you're telling people where to enter, where to stop out, and where to take their profit because you're trying to manipulate the market or move the market in a specific way. Alfonso Shorty will be going over futures tonight, and we can ask him to look at NQ. I'm not going to be doing futures on an options stream. No, sorry. And worst case, Alfonso, you can always just message me and I can give you my NQ chart later. But I'm sure Shorty wouldn't mind to look at NQ if we ask him. He'll be live at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. So hopefully this explains the answer for you. But right here, we're looking at a minimum of 1 risk, 2 reward. And then if we go forward and we're looking for the whole move, we're getting almost 4.25 to 1. So you always want to take these trades. Like this is money, money, money. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that helps. Let's go back to SPY. First thing first, let's start with PVP because it's going to be a new week tomorrow, and we need to do our weekly levels. That is a wild looking. Is this correct? Wow, this looks funky. But okay. Oh, I see. This is our previous week. Our previous week. This is our current week here. I'm not going to be doing this, but just know you can do. Actually, it might be good. I didn't. This is actually probably something really important to put on our charts. I didn't recognize what I was looking at until I looked at it closer. Hang on, let me. This is probably going to be. Yeah. Bummer. It doesn't really help. At least I might give you like upside levels, but I think I'm good without this. Like this is going to be inside of like our. Oh shoot! I'm on the wrong time frame. Let's start again. My bad, guys. So those levels are slightly off. This is why time frame is important. I get to be a noob sometime though and make noobish mistakes, and that's part of trading and that's part of life. So what I was getting at is you can draw a fixed range volume profile from Monday, November 4th, all the way forward to Friday, November 15th, and draw your SIGs based on that 2-week volume profile. I'm not going to draw them, but I don't think it would be, I don't think it would be horrible to have them on your chart. I'll just give you guys the levels if you want them. First SIG 588.67 and 628. Actually, sorry, 622. Yeah, 622. Second SIGs. It looks like the top is going to be the same. Yeah, 622. Your second SIG on the bottom, 570.78. Third SIG is going to be the same at the top. Excuse me. I'll just confirm. Yep. And third SIG is probably the same as your second SIG. No, it's a little bit lower. 569 and 48 cents. If you guys want those on your chart, there's the levels. Go to 30 minutes here, and let's look at our session volume profile. So our previous day levels pretty tight. Whoa, what did I grab? Okay. So there's our daily levels. This is slightly off, which is going to bug my OCD. There we go. Let's look at TPO really quick. I don't see a spike, but I just want to double check. Yeah, no spike. Um, Single prints at the bottom and at the top. You guys know what that means. I'm not going to draw the single prints here, but just know that they exist. And so if price comes to here, it's probably going to traverse through this section very quickly. This should just be like one 5-minute candle from one side to the other. So just be aware of that. And then also at the top, I would be aware of the midpoint, which is going to be 589.53. I'll draw it in. But when we have a large area like this, price tends to like to respect the single print mid. It's looking very much like a typical day. Based on what I'm seeing. Let's take a look at news. Nice, Oliver. Hey, what's up, Alan? How you doing? Hey, Ricardo. Um, we are actually going to talk about Tesla, but I don't think there's I don't think there's anything to look at right now, per se. There's some levels to pay attention to. One of them already hit, and I don't know if anybody was listening the last time we talked about Tesla, but if you did, you could have caught like a pretty good bounce. What's up, Dynamite? How you doing? Um, Check news really quick. Not much going on that's going to affect our trading per se. FOMC, Goolsby speaking. But it looks like, well, these G20 meetings are going on all day, so we can't really like, that the news from that might affect something, but we can't really predict what that's going to be. Or I'm saying like you can't predict when that might affect the market. And my point in saying that is like I like to what's it called? I like to like something like this where I know at 8:30 a.m. there's going to be CPI month over month, medium CPI year over year, trim CPI year over year, common CPI year over year, building permits in U.S. This is all Canadian. Core CPI month over month, building permits. These things, when 8:30 hits, I know like I don't want to be in trades because we're gonna get some wild swingy candles. But something like this that's going on all day long, like I can't predict, when to not be in a trade based on something that's happening all day. So you just have to kind of roll the dice on that one. Yes, Katsu. Previous week, value areas you chart on 65 minutes. Um, I mean, we talk about this like in when we're doing teaching, but I'll just cover it um, for all of the time frames. That way, everybody knows. Yearly volume profiles. I'm not going to pull up all of them, but for every volume profile, value area volume is 68, row size is 100. Um, we're using the session volume profile indicator, or SVP. When you go to indicators, you can search SVP or type in session volume profile, and either one will get you to the indicator. For the other time frames, we're using PVP, or periodic volume profile. So on the yearly volume profile, you basically just go to your PVP, and under settings, you're going to change this to 12 months. And you do that on 1 day candles. Your monthly levels, 1 month, and that's going to be on the 4-hour chart. Weekly is going to be 1 week, and that's on the 65-minute chart. And then our previous day levels, we're doing session volume profile on 30 minutes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, no worries, Katsu. Um, for tomorrow, I'm bullish up until here. So if you get an opportunity to buy calls anywhere down in this range here, hop on it. Um, just be aware we have a lot of levels close here where we could just kind of chop. If you want to be safer, breaking over the previous day VPOC, 3 5-minute candles, retesting, and then go. Um, this would be ideal if you don't want to get caught up in chop here. Um, hopefully that makes sense, but for me, I would be looking for calls here. And close your calls in this range and look for puts. Um, I would literally be closing the second we hit the bottom of the single prints, at least for options trading. For futures, obviously we're not going to be trading futures off of the SPY chart, but ES is going to be similar. I would be looking to close like closer to the midpoint, just because we don't have to worry about theta decay eating up our value. Big P, for anything that's not a future, you use regular trading hours. For futures, you're going to be using extended trading hours, except for charting TPO is always done on regular trading hours. It doesn't matter if it's futures or non-futures. Okay. If it breaks 51.83, I'm sorry, 591.83. I don't see why. Yeah, I would literally be closing if it hit 591.90. So yeah, I don't know what you're seeing up there. Maybe this tiny gap here, but the level you're giving is right below um, the November 6th value area high. So I wouldn't want to get in right below that. I would say if we break, it looks like you're looking for a gap fill, but this is your gap. So if you break 590.20, you would play up to 591.90, trim there if you have multiple contracts. and then leave your runners up to um, 594.30, 594.35 ish, somewhere right around there. Um, yes, absolutely, Alan. If we gap up, which I highly doubt, but if we did, um, then you're literally going to be looking for, like, let's just say we gap to here, sell off. That's your trade. And then trim. And I would look to trim here at this wick here. That's your gap filled. And then you could leave a runner to here. Okay. Yeah, Nvidia earnings. Nvidia earnings could also be dumping the market. Way more likely, in my opinion. But that's just my humble opinion. I could be wrong. Um, the I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Like, basically, Nvidia bulls are getting to the point where they need to be humbled. And that's not like me trying to be mean or rude or whatever, but the market has a tendency to humble people when they get overconfident about something. And I think Nvidia is like a good, solid company. Their last earnings, they absolutely killed it, right? I think. Or was it the one before? Um, I know we killed it on earnings. I don't remember. Like, I still love this bounce, and then it happened like here. Um, we absolutely killed Nvidia. I don't remember when, but or I do. It was this earnings here, right? Yeah, this earnings, I said life changing money. If you grab $50,000 worth of Nvidia calls before the earnings here, I said that it was going to absolutely go nuclear, which it did. Um, I don't remember what price targets I had, but they were up there. And this was when Nvidia was like $900 before the split here, 10-for-1 split. And then, this earnings here, people were still super bullish. And when I say people, like, if you just kind of look at the market sentiment, like you go to X, I still call it Twitter. If you go to X or whatever, and look at the overall sentiment when people talk about Nvidia, for this earnings, they were all bullish and whatever else. They got clapped. And I don't know. I just think they might be doing the same again. I could be wrong. Um, this, so we're super zoomed out here. But if they break over this, it's not bad for a little move up. I don't know. Price is way down here, 41. But if they break this 144.58, then they're gonna pop up to here someone. It's not. I guess it's not a very big move. It looked bigger when I was zoomed out, but um, yeah, we have consolidation here and consolidation up here. This is actually, it was a diamond top on Nvidia, um, and it did exactly what it should. Um, yeah, I think they're gonna humble some people this week. But again, like, it's all speculation, right? When we're talking about um, earnings, like, you never know. Let's look at Tesla really quick. I planned on talking about this anyway, but we covered this, right? It looks good on the daily here. Um, we drew this 310 level as a potential bounce before we sell off more. And then we're going to bounce around the 305 level before we sell off more and go to like right around 300 to 296. And then they're going to run this up to like 365-ish. Let's zoom out. I want to turn on extended hours. Where are we? Yeah, so far, I mean, they've done pretty much exactly what we're looking for, which was a bounce from here. We couldn't get it because it's after hours, which is why I love futures. I can catch whatever I want at any hour of the day. They ran it pretty good. 20 points. Massive. They should be coming back down to here. We'll probably get another bounce from 305 before we finally make it down to here, which is where you want to be super bullish. Yeah. All these calls, too much liquidity for it not to be changed by market makers. Well, market makers can't change NVIDIA's earning report. Like, so earnings reports are based on NVIDIA's earnings, their profitability, right? And like how well they're doing as a company. The market makers don't have the ability to change those numbers or skew those numbers. But you know, those things are going to be affected by retail sales and whatever is affecting the company, whether it be taxes or tariffs or importing costs or, you know, increased prices for chips and things like that. Like all the behind the scenes background stuff, which market makers have absolutely no part in. But with that said, yeah, I mean, I think the market makers are definitely going to be coming for their money, but it's not going to be because of earnings. Like that's going to be based on what the company's doing as a company, right? Hopefully, no, it's all good. I'm just when I speak, like it's never targeted at anybody. Actually, before I say this, if anybody have any questions, make sure you spit them out right now because we're about to end the stream. But anything that anybody says in the chat, like my reply is never personal. It's more about getting knowledge out to everybody. And so like it's good when you guys speak and say things because then, you know, like it gives me a direction or whatever, something to speak about. And hopefully pass on some knowledge. And so really just not directed at anybody. It's a generalized statement like for everybody and hopefully an opportunity for people to grow. So don't take anything I say personal unless I say your name and then follow it with whatever I'm going to say. But that's not really like me. I'm not that kind of person. You'd have to be a pretty crappy person for me to call you out like that. Which we've done on this channel before, right? We'll call out some scammers real quick. Oh, sorry, Professor. I didn't see your message. Oh, what are single prints for? Sorry. I wasn't ignoring you. Sometimes there's probably like a lot of messages and I might overlook stuff, but that would never be intentional. Yeah, we can talk about single prints really quick. So what single prints are, I'm not going to do a full class on um, TPO, because that would take hours. But if we turn on TPO and turn off session volume profile so we can see here, and then go to regular trading hours. So TPO is basically just breaks the candlesticks up into blocks. And let's expand these so you can see what I'm talking about. So each 30-minute candle on the chart represents a period. So like the first candle of the day is the A period. The second candle of the day is the B period, then C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, right? And that's our entire day. Anytime that price, these blocks basically go up, and the only blocks that are in that range is that specific one. So in this case, the A period is up here by itself, and there's no other period up here. At the bottom, we have the I period for just a very small amount, but it is still by itself at this price level. Those are considered single prints. And basically what a single print is when price either starts at a level and quickly moves away from it, or price comes down to a level like we have here on this I period and touches it and goes, right? And so the significance of this is this was obviously either a very strong resistance level that price rejected from, and this here, especially this I period, right? Because if we look, I mean, this from yesterday was just like no breaks, right? And then we hit this I period and bounced. So this I period is a very strong level. And so basically what you think of when you see this as a trader is if price did this once, the next time we hit it, we're probably going to do the same thing. So if price comes here, that's why we're looking for calls. This is a very strong support level where we're probably going to get a bounce. Okay. And then if you guys want to learn more about TPO, I'll link a video for you. Give me 1 second. So this is the last video Shorty did on TPO, which is also considered time price opportunity. Okay. Super, super powerful next level stuff that you definitely want to learn and definitely want to use. If you watch how price reacts, you know, like tomorrow, if we come up to here or come down to here, of course, nothing's 100%. These levels get broken. If they didn't, then you know, price would just continually be trading in a zone. But a lot of times you're going to get like a very strong reaction at the single prints, top or bottom. Occasionally they'll get broken. But you just play the probabilities and roll with it. Yeah, you can use volume to validate it. That's what I do. I use footprints. If I'm concerned about single prints getting broken, I'll be looking at footprint charts to see what it looks like buying and selling is doing, basically, if there's more aggressive buying or more aggressive selling at that level. So, all right. It looks like I covered all of the questions. And Professor X, in the future, if you ask a question and I miss it, please, like, give me a reminder. I'm glad you did today, but I'm just saying in the future, if and that applies to anybody, if I happen to overlook your question, it's not personal. So please just ask again or tell me, hey, like you missed my question. Whatever it is, just like give me a nudge. Because I would never like intentionally just overlook somebody, something that somebody says. Um, if it was something that I didn't want to talk about or whatever, I would literally just be like, hey, like, blah, 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 for whatever reason. And I would give the reason, like, I'm not going to talk about that. But I would never just ignore anybody. So, um, yeah, in the future, just give me a little prod or a nudge if I happen to overlook something. Um, I try to do my best. I am human, though, but um, sometimes the chat can be a little bit to keep up with while you're talking and teaching and drawing levels and whatever else. All right, Oliver, we'll catch you later. Send me a message, all right, when you're back home. Um, so with that said, Shorty's going to be live tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, covering futures for tomorrow, and yeah, that's it. As always, much love and appreciation to all of the people that are subbed. Um, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the interaction. I appreciate the conversation. I actually do look forward to like chit chatting with you guys every day. And a big extra thank you to the friends of the stream. I really appreciate the support and the love. Excuse me. It means a lot to me. And then finally, to people that are new to the channel, we tend to focus on education and learning. When I 5 days a week, I just go over charts, and I'm not really teaching in that capacity. I'm just sharing what I see for the next day. But generally, our focus is going to be education and teaching how to find the levels for yourself. And I chart it live. That way, you can learn as I'm doing it, kind of thing. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video and you feel like it's going to be helpful, and you want to pick up some free game, please throw us a sub. I would appreciate it. And with that said, much love, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace out.